Half the households in America now make six figures. 43%, almost 1 in 2. So if 100 grand was your finish line, you need to hear what the new one actually is. Because there are 8 income levels in this country, and the people at the top aren't who you think they are. At the bottom, you count coins before bed, praying your card clears on Monday. At the top, you stopped checking your balance years ago, because the number only goes up. The gap between those two lives isn't a ladder. Each rung is double the last one. This is your life at every income level. Find the one you're standing on. It'll surprise you. And stay to the end, because the level that actually makes you feel rich, it isn't the top one. You make $17,000 a year, about $1,300 a month after everything's taken out. Rent for one room in a shared house costs $650. Half gone day one. You shop at the dollar store. You hit the food bank twice a month and tell no one. Your phone is prepaid because you can't pass a credit check anywhere in this country. There's a hole in your right shoe. It flooded yesterday in the rain. You wore it anyway. A flat tire isn't an inconvenience. It's a 3-week financial emergency you're still recovering from. Your savings account holds $87. Your checking account goes negative most Fridays before the deposit lands. You don't dream about getting rich. You dream about hitting zero, about just breaking even. This is the bottom 10%. 33 million people, and the next level feels impossibly far away. You make $40,000, about $2,700 a month. And here's the part nobody says out loud. This feels like the middle. It isn't. You're still in the bottom half of the entire country. You drive a 2014 Corolla. The check engine light's been on so long you forgot it's there. You eat out twice a month and feel quietly guilty both times. You still do it anyway. You owe $11,000 across 3 cards at 24% interest. The minimum payment is just feeding the fire. Your emergency fund is $312. One car repair erases it. So you just don't fix the car. You refresh your bank app every other Thursday night, doing math you already know the answer to. You make almost the median wage, and the math still doesn't work. So you assume more money fixes it. It doesn't? Watch. You make $83,000 combined. This is it, the exact middle of America, the literal median. But here's what they don't tell you. The average household makes $121,000. You're below average, at the median. That gap exists because a handful of people at the top drag the average up. You're the real middle. You rent a 2-bedroom in a decent area. You check Zillow, see the prices, and close the tab. You fly once a year, Southwest. To see family at Christmas, coach middle seat, no complaints. You finally pay the credit card off every month. The emergency fund crossed 3 months. Real progress. You feel okay, genuinely okay. For the first time in your adult life, you're not drowning. But one layoff drops you back to level 2 overnight. Comfortable and safe are not the same thing. So you climb. And at the next level, something strange starts to happen. You make $130,000 combined. You just cracked the top 25% of the entire country. You bought a starter home. $385,000, 8% mortgage. The payment's $2,800 a month, and it stings. You lease a Tesla Model Y. You order appetizers without checking the price. Small freedom, huge feeling. Your retirement crossed $85,000 last quarter. The first time the number ever felt like momentum. You buy the $24 bottle of wine, now not the $9 one. You notice. You like noticing. You're comfortable for the first time, and yet one layoff still terrifies you. The fear didn't leave. It just got more expensive. Now stop, because everything I've told you assumes one thing, that we're talking about your whole household. A top 25% household might be one person earning $130,000, or 2 people earning $65,000 each. Same rank, completely different lives. Hold that thought. It changes everything at the top. Because from here, up the rungs stop being steps. They become leaps. You make $251,000 combined. You're in the top 10% now. 9 of 10 households earn less. And this is the number everyone gets wrong. People think $250,000 makes you the 1%. It doesn't. It's the top 10%. The 1% is almost 3 times higher. Your home is worth $720,000. 2 paid-off cars in the driveway. Top-rated public schools down the street. You and your spouse both max your 401ks. $46,000 a year. Vanishing tax-free into the future. You go to Italy for 10 days every July. Business class on at least one leg of it. You hired a cleaner every 2 weeks. And you felt weird about it for exactly 1 month. You feel genuinely wealthy until Sunday night when you open Instagram and remember how much further it goes. And it goes much further. The next jump costs you another $85,000 a year. Just to move up 1 rung, you make $336,000 combined. Top 5%. You are by any honest definition rich. You bought the $1.2 million house. The payment's $7,400 a month. And you barely feel it. Your net worth crossed $1 million in March. You remember the exact day. You'll always remember it. Porsche Macan in the garage, Range Rover next to it. Both are leased because at this level, you optimize cash flow. And here's the strange truth. Your day-to-day barely looks different from the top 10%. Bigger house, nicer trips, that's it. The real change isn't what you spend, it's what you keep. The wine cellar holds 80 bottles. 6 of them cost over $200. You're saving them for nothing in particular. You feel wealthy, comfortable, and a little bored. And then you meet an actual 1% and feel poor all over again. So who are they? The next 2 levels are where it stops being about salary at all. You make $475,000 combine the top 2%. The doorway to the 1%, but not through it yet. Primary home is worth $1. $8 million a lake cabin you bought last summer for $420,000 just because you could. Your investments cross $1.4 million across taxable retirement and a trust your attorney set up. The kids are in private school, $48,000 a year each. You wrote the check without rereading it. And this is where it changes. Below this, money came from your paycheck. Here, money starts coming from your money. The investments earn while you sleep, and they're catching up to your salary. You fly business on every flight and never once look at the fare difference. That reflex is just gone now. You're rich by every metric that exists, and you still feel poor next to the true 1%. The ladder never stops doing this to you. 1 rung left. And it's the one everyone means when they say rich. It's also a lie. You make $660,000 a year. You finally did it. You're in the top 1% of America. The primary home is worth $3. $5 million nearly paid off. A second home in Park City, a condo in Florida. Your portfolio holds over $5 million across private equity real estate and accounts you don't personally manage. A private golf club that costs $200,000 just to join a housekeeper, a chef, a pool guy, $11,000 a month. St. Bart's Lake, Como Aspen, a charter in the Mediterranean every August. You stopped counting the trips. And here's the thing I promised you at the start. The 1% isn't the top, it's the floor of the top. Above you sit the 0.1%, the 0.1% people who earn your entire year's salary in a single afternoon. You spent your whole life climbing to the bottom of a taller mountain. You finally stopped checking your bank balance, not because you're free, because the number stopped meaning anything. Here's what every single level had in common. At $40,000 and at $660,000, the fear never left. It just changed costumes. Bigger house, bigger mortgage, bigger comparison. The people who actually felt rich at every level weren't the ones who earned the most. They were the ones who widened the gap between what they made and what they spent. Wealth was never the number. It's the distance between you and your next financial fear.